Hello, friendships, and welcome to the We Are Growing podcast. I'm your host, Ava Medina, and I am so happy to welcome you to the show. Welcome. If you're the first time listening, I am so happy to have you here. Welcome back if you have been a repeat listener. Either way, I am ecstatic to have you here. I am so thankful for each and every one of you that stops to give this a listen. I truly appreciate it. So come sit down, relax, and enjoy. We are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, growth, personal journeys. Here at We Are Growing podcast, it is a safe, cozy community. It is all about growing and your best self, meeting yourself where you're at, and having self compassion for yourself as you are growing, as you are changing. Be authentic to your growth and your change. I am so happy to have founded this. I am so happy that you have joined me here. So let us get into it. Episode 9 of season 1, we are wrapping up this little mini series. Episodes 7 through 9 are all about authentic self and authenticity. It is a topic I'm very passionate about. I'm so happy to be able to speak on it, to be able to give you any value or spark any change or any just epiphany that I possibly can in you. I am endlessly happy to bring that to you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Episode 9, all about embodying your authentic self, showing up, achieving goals, and navigating relationships. I'm going to give you some good information in this one. I hope you take it. I hope you spark it. I hope it goes endlessly well on your self authentic journey. So let's go ahead and break it down. What we'll be learning in this is how to set goals that align with who you really are, how authenticity will fuel motivation and resilience, and how to navigate relationships while staying true to your path. Okay, so this is, of course, a personal style essay podcast. It is just my trials and tribulations brought to you. Just to let you know, someone else has done it, or possibly how not to do it. If you can avoid any of my missteps, that is so amazing. I want to be able to give you that. You know, I've been there. I've done it. These are the mistakes I made. You can take them with you, and so you don't make them. We'll be going through 3 main points, and I will lead you through as we go. So point number 1 is showing up for yourself. Showing up for yourself and setting authentic goals. What does it mean to show up for yourself when you're setting goals? You know, like, I'm here, I'm doing the work. Isn't that what it is? Isn't that all it is? But it's really about prioritizing goals that align with your values, not external expectations. I know I've covered this. I think episode 7, we went over figuring out our values and what it means to us. Do we value curiosity? Do we value compassion? Do we value equality, justice, fairness, integrity, integration? What do we value? What is a core value that we can point to in our life and say, if I embodied this value every day, I would have lived a fulfilled life? It's all about finding those things that bring purpose. You can have huge, big purpose, and you can have tiny purpose. And those tiny purposes, what you do day in and day out. So know what your values are, and then prioritize goals that align with those values. Whatever that looks like for you, every answer is correct. You know, I value bringing things to people, a sense, giving them value, sharing my journey, making an impact on the world. If I can touch someone's life in a positive manner, in a positive way, if someone can point to something I've said or I've done and been like, this was everything, this was all I needed in this moment. I just needed a sympathetic ear. I needed someone to hear me out. I needed someone to tell me that I wasn't wrong, that I wasn't crazy, that I was right, that it was okay to do what I was doing, to just pursue my own goals. I wanted to make a difference in the world. I wanted to, yeah, have a hand in people's lives, just letting them know that everything can work out. Everything will work out and growth is possible. So many people are stuck in a fixed mindset and they think that this is how it is. There is no getting better at anything. And that is so sad. Everything's a skill, everything can be learned. You can accomplish all of your goals. In some capacity, you can accomplish all of your goals. So choose what is a core value to you. Is it your family? Is it friends? Is it a sense of community? Is it building community? What is that? And then always choose progress over perfection. I will say this as many times as you need to hear, as many times as I need to hear for being truthful. Choose progress over perfection. I am still learning that. I don't think I will ever stop learning that. I am just such a perfectionist. It's such a part of my personality I'm trying to edit, that I'm trying to Rubik's Cube in a way so that it suits me better, so that it works for me better. I'm trying to look at things that I can do that don't set me back. Perfectionism will have me paralyzed. I can't do something until I know exactly how to do it and all the things that need to go into it. And I'm trying to move away from that kind of perfectionism to a better kind of perfectionism, which is I'm doing this thing, I'm going to explore all options of it. If I'm doing this, I'm going to explore exactly as far as it can go. I am going to perfect my efforts at this, my level of mastery. I'm going to continuously improve in this until it has gotten to a point that yeah, I don't think anything ever stops improving, honestly. I was going to say until it reaches a point where I can't improve it any further. But at that point, you seek new avenues. You go out and you find new mentors, or you find new ways to do things so that you can continually improve, or you move on to another topic, something that spawned off of that topic. But I'm trying to rewrite my natural inclinations so that goal setting is easier and goal starting is easier. So I don't let my perfectionism hold me back. I'm like, listen, it's going to look like what it's going to look like. We're going to have to bare bones this, potato build it in the beginning, and then we will add on it. But by that perfectionism always allows me to continuously grow. It's like I want to do more. I want to go further. I want to fine tune this and tweak it until it is the best that it can be. And that's how I'm trying to twist my perfectionism. That's how I'm trying to tune it. It's all about dialing in. It's like a knob. You just have to dial it to the right frequency. You just have to adjust it until it is working for you. Your natural inclinations are what they are. There is no judgment there. There's only working with and having it work for you. So how do you set authentic goals? Well, ask yourself firstly, ask yourself, do I really want this? Or do I just think I should? Or one that I encountered, do I want this? Or has this been a goal so long I just want to achieve it? Like, does this still align with what I'm doing? For the longest time, I wanted to be a published author. I wanted to write fiction. I, I had to come to a point, I had to sit with myself and go, listen, there's a lot of resistance when we're trying to write, the actual writing process. Do you think maybe you just want, do you actually want to be an author, or have you just wanted that for so long that you're still pursuing it even though it no longer aligns with what you're trying to do, that it no longer brings you the joy that it did? And so sometimes we have to let go. We have to let go of things we thought were integral to us, we thought were a goal, we thought we were an achievement that we could accomplish. And we just have to learn to be okay with that, learn to know that that's not the way that our path is moving anymore. And that's okay. We can still achieve what we are trying to achieve in a different way. I can still be an author, but it's probably going to be for my workbooks, or I publish articles on Medium now, and that's still authoring. I am now just publishing articles. There is still a way to achieve what you are trying to do, but maybe in a different way than you thought that you would achieve it. So ask yourself, do I really want this? Or do I just think I should? Have I wanted it for so long that I can't think of an alternative? Does it still align with what I'm trying to do, with what I'm trying to achieve, with who I'm trying to become? And then define success. Define success in your own terms. What does being fulfilled mean to you? For everyone, that's going to look differently. Someone's answer might be having a loving family, a loving community, fulfillment in that. That's what brings meaning to me. And someone might be achieving this amount of money, achieving financial security so that I don't have to worry about where my bills are going to get paid or where my rent's going to get paid. And that might be fulfilling to them. Having a thriving business, a thriving career, being able to do what you want. Success is going to look different to everyone. What that success means, when we've achieved it, what the internal feeling of what we're trying to achieve is. Because I never think that it's just one thing. It's not $1,000,000 is what's going to make meaning to my life. I don't think that's it. I think it's what that can get you. It's the financial security that you get, which I can very much vibe with. I love financial security for sure. But maybe it's the ability to not have to work a 9 to 5 job, the ability to be able to take your family out on the weekends, the ability to go exploring, to go on a nature trail when you want to at just 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Really narrow it down. It is more than a thing. It is what that thing can get you. And also, it shouldn't revolve around a person. It can revolve around a feeling, a sense of community in people, but it should never be around a person. When I get that ideal partner, I will have meaning in my life. No, no. Because if we've never done the internal work on us, if we don't love us, then no amount of love from someone else is going to fill that space. So you're definitely going to want to identify what a meaningful life, what success looks like for you, because it's going to look different for everyone. And then, of course, that helps you build the goal, because when you're like, okay, well, it's not about the amount of money I can make. It's about achieving this level of interaction with people, this level of meaning in my community, whatever that looks like. And that will help you set your goal. And then always set goals. Always set goals around joy or curiosity or purpose. Never set goals around obligation. I have to go get a degree in being a lawyer or being a doctor because that's what my family expects of me. No, you should never do anything out of a sense of obligation. That's just frustration and regret in the making. That is you setting yourself up for failure. Always do it around a sense of joy and purpose and curiosity. And then we also, in this setting of authentic goals, we want to kind of break the habit of self-abandonment in goal setting. So stop setting goals around other people's approval, like based on the approval of others. Like, hey, should I go with this goal? No, you should never ask someone else if you should go with a goal. A goal should be you. It should be a conversation between you and yourself and no one else. Very rarely do you need anyone else's opinion in setting a goal for yourself. It should be a conversation between you and yourself, no one else. You can get encouragement, you can get support, you can get a network from other people, but you cannot get goals from others. They cannot set your goals for you, because then you're missing the point of living authentically and setting goals authentically. Learn how to say no. In this, it will just come as you go. As you live authentically and set authentic goals, you will learn to say no to paths that do not align with you, or that are inauthentic, or that don't resonate with you, because you're like, no, I'm so used to doing this. I no longer can sacrifice my time and efforts for something that does not align with me. I no longer remember what that feels like. And honestly, it feels draining and I'm not participating in it. And keep promises to yourself. It is all about the small promises. I realized that I was doing this to myself. I was like, why can't I build promises? Why can't I build trust with myself? And it is less about, you told yourself you would go to bed at 9 and you went to bed at 10. And it is more about when something is on the line, when something matters, and you told yourself, if you do this hard thing, you get this reward. And then you go, well, actually, now that you finished the hard thing, You have to do these 3 other hard things and then you can get the goal. I was doing that to myself. I realized it. I was like setting these goals that I was like, well, you're probably not going to accomplish them, but if you manage to, we'll get this thing. And what I did was I met my expectation and more. I did it. I did the thing I thought I would do. And I was like, well, now I actually have to go do the reward. But I think that reward is, too good for like the amount of effort. I thought it would take you longer. I thought you would do more work. So, you know what? Do these 3 more. I was the worst boss. I was like such a toxic person to myself because I was telling myself, if you do this one thing, you get this reward. But then I did the thing that I didn't expect that I would do. And I went, okay, well, now you have to do 2 more things actually to get the reward because I thought that this would take you longer. I thought you wouldn't even get it. And I was doing that to myself. How? And then I was wondering why I couldn't commit to anything, why I couldn't follow through on anything. Wow, no shit. Because I was lying to myself. I was literally setting myself up for failure. I was telling myself, I was full on lying to myself. And then being mean and holding back rewards. I was like, why would I do anything for myself if I never get the thing I promised myself? So keep those promises. If you told yourself, if you did the hard thing, if you showed up to the gym 3 times a week, and you could get the ice cream at the end on Sunday on your cheat day, do not deprive yourself of that ice cream. Do not say, well, you did such a good job, and honestly, if you eat this, you're just going to pig out. Do not do that to yourself. Do not. I did it. I did it so you don't have to. Don't do that. If you promise yourself a reward, you get the reward. Okay? We are exchanging. It is not the stick and no carrot, and the carrot is an illusion. No, we need the carrot. That is how we stay motivated to continue. That's how we build trust. Because you told me I would get the thing if I did the thing, and then you did, and you followed through, and I did get the reward for doing the hard thing. And now I'm more inclined to do the hard thing because I know that there is a good thing at the end. So, your goals, key takeaway here is your goals should feel like a natural extension of who you are, not a burden or a performance for others. And that is how you build trust with yourself. That is how you build goals authentically and trust yourself to go after them. Which will lead us into point 2, which is achieving goals authentically. We have set them, we feel good about them, now we are achieving them and we are staying motivated. So why does authenticity make goal achievement easier? Because it does. It definitely does. If you haven't tried it, trust me. And if you have tried it, then you know. When you set goals authentically, it makes them... Now listen, when we set hard goals, I'm going to caveat this. When we set hard goals, because we're setting stretchy goals we have to stretch for. Okay, we're dreaming big. It is never going to be fully easy. It is never... Everything is going to take effort. But it gets that millimeter easier, that inch easier, that foot easier, that yard, that mile easier to get to your goal because you're motivated. You're motivated when your goals are actually about you and excite you. When you are setting authentic goals for yourself that are in line with your values, with your purpose, with your curiosity and your motivation, it becomes so much easier. It becomes that step easier to do it, to get up in the morning and do the thing because you know that you are living in line with yourself. There's no internal conflict. There's no voice in your head going, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I hate it. And why are we even doing this? No, it's a voice that's going, I'm kind of tired today. And then it's your motivation going, but listen to all we get to do. I know you're a little tired. I mean, we've been killing it. So we're going to be a little bit tired, but listen to all the things, all the amazing things that we get to do today, because we get to just live for ourselves. We get to work on our business. We get to eat what we want. We get to go work out when we want. We get to live doing things that bring us joy. And suddenly it becomes that much easier to get up at 5 a.m. It becomes that much easier to go to bed early, to continuously show up for yourself. Because you've set goals that actually matter to you, that excite you, that you want to get up and go do and accomplish because you can't wait to be in the process of them. It is not about the destination of the goal. It is not the end goal. It is the process getting you to the goal. Because if you don't enjoy the process, you're unlikely to hit the end. You're very unlikely to hit the end because the process was walking on glass. Yeah, like the end is a bouquet of roses, or like the goal you've always wanted to achieve, but we're walking on glass, and no, we're much more likely, if we're walking on glass to get there and we're hating the process of getting to the goal that we want, we're much more likely to go, you know what? I'm just going to stop, because right here is comfortable. Right here, I don't have to step on glass to achieve something that I don't even want, you know? So it offers you less resistance, because when a goal is aligned with your values, it feels right. It's all about building that. It is not persevering through the hard times. If your goal has mental resistance and it never gets easier, that is a sign that this goal is not aligning with you. At least that was my sign that the goal was not aligning with me, because I really wanted to do the thing. I really wanted to sit down and do this. And every time I did, it was like hitting a wall. It was this resistance. It was this screaming and crying. And I was just like, I don't want to do this. And it never got easier. It never got easier until finally I was like, listen, this is not working. And I need to admit that. And I'm okay admitting. I'm okay talking to myself, talking it over, and going, this no longer aligns with me. And that's why there's so much resistance. So when you live authentically and your goals are authentic, you're more motivated. So motivation's no longer a big issue, because you're like, it excites you. And that excitement, you transmute it into motivation. And there's less resistance because you're excited, because you're interested in it. You're like, yes. Of course, there's always that initial, this is scary and I don't know if I can do it kind of resistance. But that's normal. That's you setting a 5-minute timer and committing to only 5 minutes. And then now when those 5 minutes are up, you're like, oh, actually I can keep going. I want to keep going. This is good. This is going. And your confidence grows. Your confidence grows immensely when you are no longer forcing yourself to show up as someone that you are not. When you're no longer embodying and wearing a mask or trying to be someone that you're not, suddenly you're like, your confidence grows, because you are you and you see how well that works out for you. And so you want to continue showing up as you. It doesn't cross your mind to show up as anyone else, because you're doing a killer job. You are slaying it. It builds that confidence to continue showing up as your authentic self. So it just feeds each other. Being authentic and continuously doing authentic things will just feed your confidence and that authenticity. So practical strategies to achieve goals authentically. Align your daily habits with your natural strengths and interests. So align your goals, align all of your habits. Look at your habits and look at your goals. What are habits that you can incorporate today that feel good? And then if you don't know if they'll feel good, just try them. Try them on. Try them out for like a week, a month. Just try that habit. See if it feels good. You're like, well, I think maybe I want to wake up early. Just try it out. See what it is. See what it's about. Try it for a good amount of time. See if you like it. Align it with your natural strengths. If you're more of a night person, then do your recording at night, or do the hard things at night. If you get more energy in the morning, then be more of a morning person. Whatever your strengths are, if you're more analytical, like you need to have a step-by-step process, then incorporate that into your goal setting. And now it's easier to do goal setting because you are working with your patterns. A lot of people will feed you, this is the format, this is the outline, this is the process of achieving goals and how to do goals. And that's a lot, my man. Calm down. Everybody's brain is different. Everybody's neural pathways work a little bit differently. So do it the way that it works for you. And if you don't know what way it works for you, try them. Try a bunch of them. And then as you build, as you do the thing, you get better at the thing. As you build the plan, as you build the habit, as you build the goal, as you build the plan to get to the goal with the habits, you tweak. You're like, well, that didn't work, so we're going to tweak it a little bit. Okay, and we're going to do this, and we're going to tweak that. And as you discover more about yourself, you're like, well, actually, I'm someone that is super reward oriented. So if I tell myself I get the thing after I do the hard thing, I'm more likely to do that. So you work with that. Maybe you are someone that just, however it works for you, that is the point. And also you learn by doing. You're like, okay, don't sit there and go, well, I have to figure out all the things that motivate me before I can get the plan going. No, get the plan going. Learn as you go. Learn as you go. I promise a lot of these will become clear as you just continuously do them. So don't stop, don't pause, don't wait until the right moment. There is no right moment. So every moment is the right moment. So just do it. Try all the habits. Try a bunch of different habits. One sounds good to you, try it. I tried meditation for like a month. Doesn't really work for me. But then I thought, I use it right before I go to bed. I lay down at night and I do meditation and it helps me go to sleep. And that's how I use it. I tried to do it in the morning and I was like, I don't know, that didn't work for me because I kept trying to sleep during meditation. I was like, no. So I moved it. So move habits around. Maybe something works better in the morning than in at night. Like for me, I brush my teeth and do my entire teeth routine at night. I don't like doing it in the morning because I never have enough time. I have so many things in my morning routine. I do not have the time to like be doing a full teeth routine. I still brush my teeth, but the full routine happens at night. Just works better for me that way. Similarly, skin things, exercise. I love doing my exercise in the morning versus at night. Sometimes it doesn't always happen, but that is how it works better for me. So align your daily habits with your strengths and interests. And in that same vein, you have to figure out what those are. Celebrate. Celebrate your progress. Your brain will trick you and it will say you're doing nothing. Don't let it lie to you. Celebrate your progress your own way also. However that looks like to you. And don't compare your journey to others. Like other people are on their own journey because it works for them. It's not your journey. Their journey's not your journey and your journey's not theirs. So they don't have to do what you have to do and you don't have to do what they have to do. And it'll look different. Also, I use people for motivation. I understand that doesn't always work for people, but try to reset your mind. When you're looking at someone succeed, don't compare in a discouraging way, compare in an encouraging way. Holy shoot, that person just did this thing I really wanted to do, just won this, thing or did this thing. I now too can do that thing. I can do it because they're not better than me. I can do it. They can do it. I can do it. Stay adaptable also. I know that we kind of briefly touched upon this about like adapting something that you thought was a love or an interest, something authentic to you if it isn't working out. But like stay adaptable and allow yourself to evolve as you grow. It's okay that this thing doesn't align with you anymore. That's fine. You're allowed to change your mind. And anyone who's making you feel bad about it can leave fully. You can also overcome challenges without losing yourself. So recognize when obstacles are pushing you to grow versus when they're signs to pivot. Sometimes you have to grow through a hard spot and sometimes you just have to pivot. It's all about internal. Honestly, if you're not getting anywhere, but you still think you can do this and you can get there and you're so fired up to do this, you're that's a sign to yourself you're in a growth mode. You need to grow past this. If externally you're stuck and you can't go anywhere and internally you're like, oh my God, get me out of here. I hate this. I don't want to do this. And it's more than just that like frustration. It's like fully encompassing in your chest. You're just like, I hate this. That might be a sign to pivot. That might be a sign that like something of this, take the part that originally gave you joy and then pivot because the full thing is not joyful. So some things need to get switched around. Letting go of timelines that don't serve you, by the way. You don't have to get done anything on anybody's timeline. Being accurate, having an accurate timeline in your mind. Do research. If you think you should achieve something by a certain time, do research. Is that actually accurate to the average of what people try to do when accomplishing these things? There's always outliers, like you might get it more or quicker than others. But for the most part, use the average. Be realistic with yourself so that you are not setting yourself up for false expectations. Like I want to be able to do self-defense, let's say, and like be able to use that practical. That's not something you're going to get in 3 months or like 6 months. That's something you might have to get 2 to 3 years of doing this self-defense so that it becomes applicable outside of class. Talk with yourself about that and be realistic about what that looks like. So you're just not setting yourself up for unrealistic expectations or being hard on yourself. Like you should have had this already, but actually this thing takes twice as long as you thought it would take. Always use always use self-compassion instead of self-criticism when things don't go as planned. Everything is a skill, everything is a growth opportunity. And the key takeaway here is achieving your goals becomes easier when they come from your truth and not external pressure. That'll lead us into point number 3, which is going to be how to navigate relationships while staying true to yourself. I know that we covered this last episode. We covered relationships. I want to talk a little bit more about them in a different kind of way. So follow me with this, promise. Why do your relationships shift when you're pursuing authentic goals? I feel like this one might be obvious, but you can expect some, hopefully not all, but like some of your relationships may shift as you're pursuing authentic goals, as you are actively bettering yourself. Hopefully what will happen is this beautiful ripple effect. At least that's what I have found in my life, is this beautiful ripple effect where now that you are actively pursuing your change, psychologically, this is a thing, it'll trickle into your group, and now they are also jumping on board to pursue change. And it's this beautiful, magical, synergetic moment between you and those closest. It happened to the people that I live with, where I went on my weight loss journey and they went with me and we all started losing weight. But I was the one that had to start it first. Or I went on my personal growth journey and we all started doing personal growth things, but I had to do it first. And if this happens for you, it is such a beautiful moment. It is so magical and so invigorating to have that group and to have, you ripple effect into people's lives. It's so beautiful. But sometimes that's not the case. I hope that's the case for absolutely everybody listening, but I will prepare you just in case it's not. Some people, they might not understand your choice. Like they might not understand why you're doing this, why you're pursuing goals, and that's okay. They don't have to understand it. They don't even have to be involved with it at all. It's all about what you're doing. Their opinion really doesn't matter in this, as long as they're keeping that opinion to themselves. So they don't have to understand, as long as they are supportive regardless. It's when they begin to be unsupportive or are actively being toxic that we begin to have an issue. Supportive people will celebrate your growth. Others will resist it. That's okay. We're going to talk about letting go of those people. And we're going to talk about why it might feel hard to let go of these people who might be a parent or a partner or a sibling or a friend, and they are just not supportive of your growth and they are actively being negative about your growth. Okay. And you have to let go of that person. You have to start backing away from them for yourself. You need to choose yourself here in this situation, because they are choosing not to grow, which is their choice. But are you going to let that stunt your growth? Are you going to let that stagnate you and where you want to go? Are you going to put your dreams on hold until this other person gets their shit together enough to come on this journey with you? Why do they even have to go on this journey with you? But know that if they are not on this journey with you and you continue to have them in your life, they are going to be a bit of a detriment. Negativity will cause, I think it's like a 30% decrease in success. Are you willing to take that chance just to have someone who's not even being supportive of your goals in your life? I don't think so. I mean, my answer would be no. And so we're going to continue with that kind of being the answer, because if your answer is yes, then you're not ready to put yourself fully first. And I hope that you do get to that point. But to the people who are ready, yeah, we're going to need to cut some of these people out when they're being actively negative or holding us back or keeping us stagnant. And letting go will feel hard. Why will letting go feel hard? Because that fear of change or the unknown can keep you stuck. What if I cut them out of my life? Well, now it's different. What if they're my partner? It's weird. Now I'm going to have to live somewhere else. Like maybe we're living together. Maybe it's my partner and we're living together, or my parents and I'm living in their house. I have to now go out on my own. Not only am I leaving my shell, I'm coming into my person. And I also have to physically be away from them. I have to figure out how to get out of this. And then society will often glorify perseverance even in harmful situations, like sticking it out somehow gets you a trophy or a sticker. I know we've talked about that. You don't get a sticker at the end of life for doing things the hard way. So why are you doing things the hard way? You should only persevere when it actually matters to you, when it's in a goal maybe that feels hard. You shouldn't persevere in toxicity that's like, there's a difference here. Like persevering for life versus persevering in toxic environments, like two different things. Emotional attachments also can make unhealthy relationships feel comfortable, especially if you've grown up with them, if they're a parent and this is the life you've been living with them, this is the environment you've been in since you've grown up. It will feel hard. You'll feel attached to them, like you owe them something. But do you? Do you owe anyone anything? You really don't. You don't owe anyone your time or your effort or your energy, and certainly you don't owe someone your growth at the expense. Like you don't owe anyone at the expense of your growth, especially. You need to prioritize you. You are the most important person to yourself. Certainly they're prioritizing themselves. If not, they would extend you the same compassion and room to grow, but they're prioritizing their selfishness and their toxic bubble. And so are you going to engage in that? That's a question you have to ask yourself, You can also have guilt. Can be a reason why letting go feels hard. You're worrying about like hurting others or feeling like you failed. But what matters more to you, failing that person or failing yourself? Because I should hope that failing yourself feels a hell of a lot worse than failing someone else. That'll last a moment. You failing yourself will last your lifetime. You failing that person might last a week, a month. Depends how bad you feel, really. But once they're out of your life, they're not your responsibility anymore. You don't have to engage with them anymore. So we're going to set boundaries for these people. We're going to set boundaries. We're going to set these boundaries to protect our goals and our energy. So we're going to communicate our values clearly. We're going to be communicative about our goals and our values to people who support us. We're not needing permission from other people. We're not communicating goals and values to the people who are being toxic. This is setting us up for failure. We don't care about them, and we are not allowing them access to us and to our mindset, to our frequency, into anything. They don't need to know. We're going to be civil. If we absolutely cannot cut them out of our life, we're going to be as civil and as limited with them as possible. Very little time with these people. We're going to say no to things that pull us away from our authentic path. However that will look like for you. And we're going to let go of relationships that feel small and inauthentic, that make us feel small and inauthentic. This is how we're going to set these boundaries. And some stepping stones to letting go, because you might be thinking, how do I let go of a partner, a family member, a sibling, a friend? How do I let them go? We have to realize that they are not helpful to our path, that they are actively a detriment. And here are some stepping stones to letting go. We're going to acknowledge the truth. We're going to stop minimizing their toxic behavior. We're going to stop explaining it away. We're going to look it in the face. We're going to acknowledge the toxic behavior is happening. We're going to acknowledge it. If it drains you, it is not serving you. If the interaction drains you, if you find that you have to pretend to be someone else, that you have to only bring certain parts of your personality to the table and never any other parts, this is not serving you. This relationship is only serving that other person. And do they really matter that much? That you have to be a different version of you, that you can't even be you with them. Start with some distance. We're going to start with distance. If cutting ties feels too big, maybe we live with them. Maybe we're just trying to take it small. That's okay. We're going to set time limits. We're going to set boundaries. We're going to observe how we feel after we interact with them. Very limited time. We're not letting them in on any of our goals. And we're going to really speak with ourselves about how we feel after interacting with these people, and continuously do that until we realize it's no longer worth it. You're going to lean on a support system because you're going to find friends and family members and mentors and even a therapist if it takes, to find people who are supportive of what you're trying to do, of the people you're trying to cut out and the path you're trying to achieve and the person you're trying to be. These are the people that matter. We can do a let go ritual where you write them a letter, letting them know your feelings and how you have to let go, how you have to prioritize yourself first. You can do it symbolically. Don't mail that letter unless you want to. I mean, hey, that's up to you. But you could do it symbolically. You can delete old messages. You can block their phone. You can get them off social media so they no longer even have access to seeing what you're doing. You can physically remove reminders of them from your home or your environment. And always, it is about attracting that support system, the right support system, the people who will and want to support you, that want to love you fully, unconditionally. Because we're going to fill the space left behind, the space that's left from that toxic person, that toxic relationship environment that we had to let go of. We're not going to fill that with the correct support system, the one that loves us and that wants us to be our best self. And if you don't have them, find them. Go out in those passions that you're pursuing, those things that you are doing for yourself, for your joy. There are people there. Be intentional about cultivating friendships. Don't just be friends with anyone who shows an interest. Be friends with people who are supportive, who are growing, who will elevate you. So we're going to want to redirect that energy with things that align with our value and our new friendships, hobbies, self-care. Be with yourself. Surround yourself with people who value growth and authenticity, because that's what you're trying to embody and pursue. And be willing to let go and outgrow dynamics that are no longer aligning with your true self. I know it's hard. I have been there. It is hella hard. But you just kind of have to reframe. It's all about that mindset. You're going to have to just reframe. Reframe from quitting, from I am giving up, to I am choosing myself. From I'm abandoning them to I am making space for relationships that uplift me. From what if I regret this to what if I thrive because of this. From I'm letting them go to if they truly loved me, they would be supportive. If they loved me unconditionally, they would be supportive of the actions and the goals and the things that I am trying to do, and they do not. I do not want to be with someone who does not love me unconditionally, who only loves me conditionally. If you only love me if I look a certain way, or if I'm doing a certain thing, or if I'm in a certain career, then that's not love, and it doesn't mean anything. It means so very little compared to the love that someone who loves you for who you are unconditionally, that means the goddamn world. And the key takeaway here is your relationships should support. Your relationships need to support your authentic journey, not hold you back. All right, friendships. That is the end of our episode. That is the end of episode 9. I know that we kind of a longer one. That's okay. We had a lot of good information, a lot of good topics covered here. That was some therapeutic talking for me. I hope you gained some good value out of that. So let's just quickly recap exactly what we talked about. It's how to set those goals that align with your authentic self. How to stay true to your values as you pursue them, achieve them, and stay motivated. How to build relationships that support your growth while letting go of ones that are not, that are a detriment to your growth. Letting go and making space for all the beautiful people that are going to enter your world. Because when you start growing and make it a priority to interact with others who are growing, they will find you. You will find them. You will feed off each other. I know it's scary. In this moment, you're like, well, this is okay. It's fine. But why should you be fine when you could be thriving, when you could be ecstatic, when you could be happy, when you could be authentic, when you could be unconditionally you, when you could be everything you've ever wanted to be and accomplish all the goals you've ever wanted to accomplish? Why should you settle for this is fine? Why? Why? Let go of this and make room for all the amazing things in your life that are just waiting to get to you. So I want to know in the comments. In the comments, I want to know, what is one goal you're setting for yourself that feels 100% you? What is one relationship that you're going to have to let go of? How are you going to be your best you? Any of those. Any of those. Let me know. Just let me know what resonated with you in this. All right. Alrighty, friendships. That is going to be the end of episode 9. Our next mini series, I'm not sure what it is yet. That's okay. Come back for episode 10. And we will know. We will know then, episode 10 through 12, what is the new mini series going to be about? It is going to be the last mini series for season 1. I'm so excited to bring it to you. I'm so excited to have gone on this journey, to have you going on this journey with me. It's exciting, isn't it? Just pursuing growth, pursuing yourself, being your best self. Alrighty. For my audio only listeners, we will be back. I'll be back with you Monday. For my video watching listeners, I will be with you Fridays. And if you read my articles on Medium, I will be with you Tuesday through Wednesday. My apologies, Tuesday through Thursday. All right. Until then, please know we are growing. We will stumble. We will get back up again. We will be our best authentic self. We will let go of relationships that are no longer serving us. We will prioritize ourselves. We will love ourselves. We will be compassionate to ourselves in this growing space. Go out there and slay it. I know you will. And I'll see you again soon.